Hello, everyone. How are you? Welcome to session 2 of Honest Conversations. This is the second episode we're going to have this Friday. I'm very excited to be here with you. For those of you who send me comments over the week telling me, John, why aren't you speaking in Arabic? I'm sorry about that. But the idea is that I'd like to reach to a global crowd. So my apologies if I'm not talking in Arabic in general. However, you can reach out to me and I will be creating Arabic responses on TikTok. Okay, so for the future, for any Arabic questions that you have, I'll be creating those answers and responses in mini videos on TikTok and sharing them on my social media platform. So I'm sorry, but this show is generally in English. So I'm going to say that in Arabic in just a quick second. I promise for those who are watching the replay, just stay with me for a quick second. أنا كتير حابب أرد عليكم بالعربي. الشو هو بالإنجليزي لأنه عم نشتغل مع عالم حوالي العالم. So basically شو ما بتسألوني أسئلة بالعربي I promise رح رد عليكم وأعطيكم الأجوبة على تيك توك بشورت فيديوز سريعين جدا. But in general we're going to be focusing in an English-based conversation. If I throw one or two words in Arabic, it's no big deal. Nico, how are you? Habibi, how are you? Welcome from California. You see, we're talking to a general population. Nico's a great friend of mine from Greece, and we've been best friends for a very long time. I can't believe he's actually still awake. So it's nice to have you. So we've got someone really special that's going to join this call. Just to let you know, again, I'm broadcasting on Facebook, Facebook Live, and YouTube and Instagram. And the objective is that you can join this call like last time. You can ask me questions. We can have a discussion about everything that you guys talked about. And all you got to do is go to the link on my Instagram profile and click it, and you will register onto StreamYard. Or you can connect with me through Facebook. I've already pasted the link there. Or you can WhatsApp me. I'm going to share my WhatsApp number for those who want to send me a WhatsApp. So it's +961 388 9035. You can reach me there, which I've shared with you guys. And you can let me know, and I will share the link to join StreamYard via WhatsApp. So that's many different ways to touch base with me. I'm really happy here to serve you. My name is John again, your integrative coach. And let's see if we can move forward. So let's check just to see if Tasneem is with us and she can hear us now. Tasneem, can you hear me? You're going to have to unmute your mic.
Yes, hello.
Ahlan, ahlan, ahlan. Hi, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
Thank you. It's a pleasure. Thank you for joining us. I had the pleasure of meeting Tasneem today. I was giving a talk for Toastmasters and we connected there. I'm so happy that she made the initiative to come out and reach out and meet us on the show. Tasneem, would you like to ask me any questions? The pleasure is all mine. Thank you so much. Feel free to ask anything you like. The floor is yours.
Okay. I have lately a problem about how can I focus on achieving my goals.
Okay.
Yes.
So the problem is focusing?
Yes. I have goals in front of me and I want to achieve them, but I can't get much focus. I get sometimes bored. I get like distracted.
That makes a lot of sense. And thanks so much for reaching out. I guess a lot of people have challenges when it comes to reaching their goals. So do you mind if I ask you a couple of questions to get a little more information here?
Yes, sure.
Would that be okay? Okay, cool. Yes. So when you say focus, what does focus mean to you?
It's like putting something, a goal in front of you and say, I want to achieve it by focusing and doing it regularly.
So it's really committing to the process of putting action towards that goal?
Yes.
Does that sound okay? All right, I see. Okay, cool. And I've noticed that you said you put the goals in front of you. And the reason why I'm using my hand is I can tell you're visual. So you like to see things clearly before you move forward. Yeah. Would that be a correct statement?
Yes.
All right, cool. So when you think about getting your goals achieved and putting that focus, are these goals personal goals or business goals or a mix of both?
Mix of both.
So do you procrastinate on completing your goals? And forgive me for saying that, it's kind of a judgment, but also at work or in general, is it just your personal goals and your personal desires? You don't always put that focus on it?
No, it's like personal desires, goals.
Personal
Like
desires.
yes, I studied NLP. Okay,
Nice.
so I'm focusing on getting bigger and starting my
Mm,
career, do job with it.
okay.
But sometimes I like just sit and I start, but then I stop. So it's been
Okay.
like 1 year, didn't achieve anything.
Can you give me some? And you're being so open and candid and vulnerable right now, and we really appreciate that because this is what the show is about. The show is about honest conversations, guys. It's about stepping out of our comfort, out of our shells. And look at me. I'm just sitting here with a sweater. So it's not about worrying about being professional. This is about real conversations, person to person, talking about real challenges that we face in the world and how we go about. And the solutions that I'm going to be talking about are personalized for each one of you. So it might work for one, might not work for another, because this show is really about getting a coaching conversation taking place that's live. Tasneem, thank you for giving me the patience to explain this to everyone, but that's my objective. The objective is to really make this measurable and applicable for everybody. So do you mind if I ask you, when you set your mind to get a goal done, and this is what most of us do, what are the things that steal you away from that? So what kind of things happen that kind of chase you away or pull you away from the goal that's in front of you?
Maybe like bored. I feel so much bored, and
Okay.
starting doing. I know I start judge myself.
Uh-huh.
Okay, in a negative way. I
Okay.
I try to turn them to positive way always, but suddenly I get
Mhm.
like, oh, okay, I can't. I don't know. I'm bored. Let's do something else.
That's all right. And when you judge yourself, you say you judge yourself in a negative way. Is it, just to understand, what does that mean? Does that mean you're telling yourself, why am I not completing this goal?
Yeah,
Okay.
because
Got
it's taking too much of my not too much of my time actually. There's a lot
it.
of time I have, but it's like I
Okay.
like everything get done quickly. I don't like them
Mm.
to take a long time, long terms.
Yeah, I think that's
So
what we're all.
that's why I
Sorry.
can't focus.
Okay. So let me ask you a couple of questions. The things that take
Yes.
you away from your goals, right? So all of us
Yeah.
face this where we have something that pulls us away from our goal. That thing that takes you away from your goal, is it more rewarding to you? Have you thought about that? So for example, what are the kind of things that you might do? So you get bored with accomplishing this goal that you really want, and then other things pull you away from it. Can you give me an example of these activities or exercises or things that you do that tend to pull you away? Just like three, just for fun.
Um, I do like I go up and dance sometimes, and sometimes I
Okay.
do meditation,
Uh-huh.
yoga.
Okay.
Um, that's it.
Well, those are some
These
pretty fun and
or just
rewarding
chilling. No,
activities.
sometimes I go to Netflix and just sit on Netflix all the
Mm.
time, and I don't want to do that.
So if you were to rate from 0 to 10 the enjoyment level, I'm going to say the exercise or activity that you're doing, and you tell me how much you enjoy it from 0 to 10. 10 being super enjoyment, 0 being no enjoyment at all. Is that okay?
Okay. Yes, sure.
All right. So yoga from 0 to 10, how much do you enjoy doing it?
8.
8. Cool. You don't have to think. There's no judgment. There's no test here. There's no right and wrong. There's just whatever you feel
Yes.
is right for you. Okay. Whatever you see is
Yes.
right.
Yes.
All right. What about, for example, meditation?
7.
7. Okay. What about Netflix?
Oh,
When you watch something fun on Netflix, from 0 to 10.
yeah, I enjoyed so much,
So
like
much.
10. Yeah.
10 out of 10. All right. And dancing. Where do you rate that?
Uh, 9.
9. Okay. And your goal. Like, think of any goal that you really want to accomplish, the one that you most want to accomplish, in fact, that you still feel you're pulled away from, that you're not focusing on. And from 0 to 10, how much do you enjoy that?
When I
Just
start
good luck
doing
with
it, I enjoy it like 10, but after it, I get bored, so I don't enjoy it anymore.
And where does that level go down to, that level of enjoyment?
From 10 till 5, and after 10, 6, 4, 0.
Okay. So cool. You have those levels all managed out. So what I'm noticing here is that you start off excited and you lose fuel quite quickly as you start off the
Yeah.
task. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. So let me ask you a question. Is there any one of these goals that you could share with us in a sentence? So if you were to write that goal and say, for example, what I want to accomplish is blah, 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 by blah, blah, blah. Can you give me an example of the one that you want the most that you could share with everybody here? I know it's live in public, but I mean, it's okay. I don't think everyone's going to mind.
No, it's not a problem.
Thank you. You're very brave.
Thank you. I want to be a Toastmaster.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
How much do you want that from 0 to 10? Say that goal for me. I want to be a Toastmaster. And continue, please.
From 10, I want to be a Toastmaster. It's the average 10. By completing it, by studying and giving myself more knowledge.
So I've noticed something very interesting here for everybody that's watching. That's sometimes what happens to our goals. So we set goals, and if I asked you to take a few moments while I talk about some other stuff, I'm going to give you an exercise, and then we'll continue back with you. Is that okay? Can I give you a small exercise to do?
Yes, sure, no worries.
All right. So could you please write your top 3 goals? So Toastmasters is one of them, and then 2 more. Yeah. Write them in a sentence. So like I said, so I want to complete this, whatever it is, by, and put a date. Okay, is that okay for you?
Yes.
And then rate it from 0 to 10. How much you want that? Okay, I'm gonna respond to some of the comments I've gotten before, and I'll give you about 3-4 minutes to complete that, and I'll be back with you in just a minute. Is that okay?
Yes, sure. Thank you.
Okay. You're awesome. Yalla, we'll be back in a second. You can mute your mic. I'm going to mute you. And then once I call you back, you can unmute. Okay? All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. I'm so happy to have Tasneem live right now. And like I said, the show is about you. It's not about me. It's not about me talking about a bunch of stuff. But I'm going to go back to your comments. So looking here from last time when I asked on Instagram, what are some of the topics that you want to talk about? We covered around 4 last time. Today, we're going to continue in these topics for those of you who were watching last time. So let's talk about the next one. The importance of supporting small businesses. By the way, when you send me topics, let me know if you want me to name your name so that I can address you directly. I'm respecting everyone's privacy. That's why I'm not doing it. The importance of supporting small businesses. This question is coming out of Dubai. And I think it's really important for us to support small businesses because small businesses are the core of an economy. They're what sprout into medium-sized businesses that runs the economy for us in general. And in today's world, we're getting to a point where there are these massive, huge companies that have pretty much dominated the market and control the pricing, controls demand and supply, and that's very dangerous and very concerning. So I would need to know a little bit more about what areas you would like support so that we can find ways to get that support out to you. So if you're looking for support in communication, in marketing, in finance, in legal, in operations, in supply chain, whether it's in management, whether it's in developing or upskilling your employees or your teams, whether it's the customer journey or customer experience, whether it's sales. So whatever it is that you need as a business, as a small business or entrepreneur, okay, or a group of entrepreneurs, you can definitely reach out to me and I'll be more than happy to share this with you. And the reason why this works is because I'm not just a neurointegrative coach. I'm also a master trainer, a consultant, certified mentor. So I've been doing this for 20 years, got quite a large background when it comes to these areas. Plus, there's a team of consultants. There are members of my organization in which I'm partners in, and we really care about giving you the best and highest quality. So I can definitely connect you with some really, really pro people that won't charge you and will take good care of you. There's also plenty of coaches, good friends of mine who are certified coaches who are happy to do one-on-one coaching for people here who are watching this show, okay, for free, in support of everyone that's, challenged during the times that we're going through right now. Because even though COVID is manageable, but there's a post-COVID economic explosion that's affecting all of us. And we really need to support each other during these times. This is when staying connected, being one heart, one body, one soul, one mind is very, very important. So reach out to me directly if you have challenges like this, and I'll connect you with the right people. Okay, we're going to go back to Tasneem really, really quickly, and then after that, we'll move into another topic. Tasneem, I'm going to invite you back. How you doing?
Hi, I'm doing fine.
Hi. All right, so let's start with the first one. The first goal you were talking about was becoming a Toastmasters. And what I'd like you to do is to think about all the activities that you need to do to become a Toastmasters. So you listed a few that I remember. One was you need to study, right?
Yes.
And another one is?
That's
Give
right.
me another task. Other than studying, what else do you need to do to become a Toastmaster?
Sorry,
Now you can hear me, okay?
I didn't hear you. Yes.
So I was saying one of the
Can you
activities
repeat,
you need to do
please?
to become a Toastmaster is studying. What else?
Focusing.
Right, that's a skill. What else do you need to do to become a Toastmaster? So if I study, is that enough and I become a Toastmaster? Is there something else you need to do?
No, I have like to train myself, do training.
So we need to exercise. Exercise the skill of
Yes, I have to.
speech, delivery, right? And public speaking.
Yes,
Yes?
exactly.
Okay.
Yes,
I think
and
you're
I
having
have
a
to
bit of a
get more
connection
knowledge
challenge.
about it.
More knowledge. So can you please measure for me from 0 to 10 inside of you, when you first think about it right now, from 0 to 10, how exciting and how pleasurable is it for you to study about Toastmaster? So if you can imagine yourself sitting right now, wherever you study, whatever that is, whether it's your room, your bed, your sofa, your desk, and you're spending time now studying for like half an hour, from 0 to 10, where's that pleasure?
It's 9.
9. Okay, it's 9 the entire time of half an hour, or does
Yes.
it go down gradually?
It's 9, no, for half an hour.
Okay. And if you did it for an hour, does it stay 9?
Yes, it's still 9.
Okay. And what about exercising? What about exercising speeches and communicating, like recording yourself on a camera and saying it? From 0 to 10, how high is your excitement when it comes to that?
10, but never did it.
Never did it.
I wanted
So I'd
to
like to understand
do
something.
it, but never did it.
You said that your excitement when watching Netflix is 10 out of 10. I mean, it's so excited. Dancing is also really high. You said yoga is around 8, if I remember correctly, or 9. And then you have meditation, which is around 7.
Yes.
And yet you're saying that your goal of becoming a Toastmaster, the activities you need to do within a short period of time are 9 and 10. So you're enjoying the process or the
Yes.
idea of doing this.
Yes.
So what's holding you back from accomplishing this goal,
Exactly.
since it's
But
enjoyable
after 1
experience for you?
hour,
Uh-huh.
after
Okay.
when it gets after an hour, I get bored.
Uh-huh. Interesting. Is it necessary for you to
Yeah,
do
so I
more than
stop.
an hour?
If I want to finish it, like getting it, do it fast and achieve it in a fast way. So yes.
So I noticed time is very important for you. So I'm going to ask you, what does achieving it in a fast way give you? What does that mean to you?
It with my life, it will get back better. I will grow up. I will. It will make it more easier.
Okay, and can we define fast? So in your mind, what you desire right now is for you to become a Toastmaster in how much time? By when?
6 months is good.
6 months. Okay. Was that your previous goal, or is this
Yeah.
a new goal that you set right now?
No, this is my previous goal.
This is your previous goal. So if you studied an
I
hour,
said to myself 6 months. From a month ago, I started studying. So I set it from a month ago. It's 6 months. But I'm still at
great.
the beginning. It passed like 1 month and I'm still at the beginning.
All right. So what I've noticed is that during this 1 month that you're still at the beginning, you're trying to study a lot more to do it a lot faster. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And when you're trying to do a lot more to do it faster, what's happening is that you're actually hurting yourself in the process because you're getting bored. You're finding that you're overloading yourself. Maybe that's not the word you'd want to use, but I've noticed that after an hour, your intensity, your excitement to do this task decreases dramatically. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
That's correct.
So what we've noticed here is how many hours do you need to do per week for you to achieve your 6-month goal?
Per week? How many hours? I want at least I want like 5 hours.
Okay.
No,
and
per
how did
day.
you come
It's
around
per day. Per week? No.
5 hours per day?
Yes.
Okay. So Tasneem, I'm going to be quite honest with you. I'm a professional speaker. I've been doing it for years, and 5 hours per day is a very, very exciting, but a very, very large amount of time dedicated to a goal. So maybe it would be great to have someone with you who's an expert in that field, okay, some other Toastmaster expert that can actually mentor you or coach you in order to make sure that instead of spending 5 hours on your own, you could spend 1 hour or half an hour in a much shorter period of time. Because what I've noticed is if you believe that 5 hours every day is what's necessary for you to become a Toastmaster 6 months, the calculations are a bit off. I expected you to say something like 3 hours a week. Do you understand? So of course you're going to get burned out if you're trying to do 5 hours a day.
Yes.
When we talk about, and just to make, even though I'm not a fan of SMART goals, but when we talk about SMART goals, you have specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and timed. What in the world could be so exciting for you to do 5 hours every single day? Can you do 5 hours every day of Netflix?
Netflix, yes.
Every day? Can you imagine yourself?
Yes, I can.
30 days straight. Every day,
I spent like
5 hours,
Friends.
5 hours?
Yes.
Okay, and once Friends is over, but you see what's happening?
But I get bored fine at last.
Thank you. Let's be realistic. So you're eventually going to get bored. Khalas. It's like eating a box of chocolate every day. After 3 days, you see chocolate, you'll throw up. Anything we do in excess or we take to an extreme, our body doesn't want that. Your body wants balance. Your mind wants balance. And your mind enjoys variety and enjoys speed because you said you're sensitive to time. So may I make a recommendation? What type of things could you do to reduce the amount of time you practice per day so you'll stay excited, and also to increase the efficiency of that hour? Do you understand? So instead of you doing it on your own, could you invest with someone to speed up your level of development? Could you do small?
Maybe I can.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Sorry, guys, your connection. So there's nothing wrong with your goals.
I have a coach. I have a coach.
And your coach is telling you should spend 5 hours a day?
And she's helping me. And I think you know her. No, my coach is not telling me to spend 5 hours.
Okay. Don't say her name, please.
I'm doing it.
In public, out of respect for her.
Like, because I thought, no, I won't say.
Okay.
No, of course I won't say her name.
Yes.
But maybe because I'm giving a lot of time, putting a lot of time on it, putting in my head a lot of time. So maybe I should like say, okay, I'll do 1 hour per day, and I'll enjoy this hour while doing it.
Maybe. So to keep this short, because I need to move to another subject.
Every day, yes. Yes, sure.
Please continue. Maybe if you did 1 hour every day that you were excited in, please continue so we can wrap this up. Yes?
I can achieve it more.
Well, yes, you're going to enjoy it a lot more. So we learn when we enjoy. We don't learn when we don't enjoy. Have you noticed that?
Yes, of course. That's right.
Okay. So here are 3 questions
Yes,
I'd
I've
like you to
noticed.
write down and then kind of process. I'd like to
Thank
invite you
you.
to do those. The first question is, okay, how can you increase your efficiency of learning and development in that hour? So let's set an hour, if you'd like, and make it as efficient and as effective for you. So how can you increase that efficiency? What resources could you bring into this experience to increase your efficiency? What subscriptions could you subscribe to enhance your level of learning and keep it engaging and interesting for you? Who could join you in the process, okay, of supporting you in the process, or speeding up your development, or mentoring you, or coaching you, or training you, or even advising you, or learning with you in that process to make it more exciting and engaging? Because life is about balance. When you outbalance yourself, you're going to have a challenge, okay? And in that challenge that you have, when you put too much energy in one place, you're going to take away from another place. So guys, can I tell you something? We spend too much time worrying about getting everything fast. But life is not about getting everything fast. Life is about enjoying the process, because when you enjoy it, you gain wisdom. It's not about knowing. It's not about knowledge. It's about knowing. It's about being able to have the discernment, the wisdom to identify the differences between which way is most effective for others. And that comes with time. For some reason in the world today, because of social media, because of the fact we get things quickly, time has become an enemy, but it's not. Time is a friend. Time helps us digest food properly. Can you imagine if you ate your food and your body digested it? For example, it takes 24 hours to digest meat, right? 3 hours to digest fruits and vegetables or something like that, or 6 hours. Bottom line is, can you imagine if you ate meat and in 10 minutes it passed through your entire gut and you had to go to the bathroom? Can you imagine how disgusting and horrible life would be? How much of those nutrients would you actually absorb? So don't be in so much of a rush. It's great to have highly ambitious goals, guys. That's beautiful. That's incredible. But also remember to ask yourself, what will this goal give me in the balance of my life? And my life is not just about achievement. My life is also about spiritual growth, mental growth, emotional growth, social growth, physical development and growth. So there's several areas that I want to grow in balance so that I don't overpower in one area. If your mind is too strong, it's going to take away from the heart. If your body's too strong, it's going to take away from the mind. If your spirituality is too strong, it's going to disconnect you from your social world. So don't extreme things. Keep it simple and enjoy the journey and the process of getting things done. That would be my advice as a person, not as a coach. Okay? As a person, I would advise you to enjoy the journey. And you'll be surprised that when you enjoy it, you might get to that goal a lot faster than you think. I guarantee you, if you go back to your coach and you have this discussion with her, okay, you'll be surprised that you'll probably get there in a much shorter period of time and be able to use that knowledge as you go. Because it's not like you get to a point, you become a Toastmaster, and suddenly now you can apply it. You're not going and buying an appliance. You're not getting a new vacuum cleaner or a washing machine, or, you know what I mean? Learning to become a Toastmaster, learning and developing the skills of public speaking are things that become innate. So you can instantly start to apply as you go. So don't be so worried about it. Things like that, enjoy the journey, because life is short and haram. You should take advantage of that. Okay? Are you still here? I see you, but I see you're on mute. Can you still hear me, Tasneem?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay,
Yes,
good. Is that okay for you? I'm gonna have to.
yes, I'm here.
All right. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show. You're amazing. Thank you for opening up your heart and telling us what you want to achieve. I really hope you do well with your goals, and feel free to reach back out to me and update me on what's going on. And I'm sure that your coach is an incredible person that should definitely be able to support you in that process to get closer to your goals. God bless you and have a beautiful day. Okay?
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. It's a pleasure meeting you. Have a beautiful night.
It's a pleasure meeting you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Tasneem, you can reach out to me later. There's a coach, a friend of mine. He is requesting to have the opportunity to maybe potentially serve you, but I don't want to take the place of your current coach. So feel free to let me know. I can connect you to. All right. Her name is Tasneem with an N. All right. Great. Thank you so much, guys, for being so patient, allowing me to work with Tasneem. So let's move to another topic. We still have 15 minutes to go. You can ask me questions. I'm going to just check on Instagram and see. Hey, guys, so many hellos. Thank you so much. You guys are incredible. Thank you. Thank you. I'm not going to name everybody's name because it's just going to get annoying for people who are watching. So let's move on to the next topic. Another thing. Someone asked me about relationships between a man and a woman, but it wasn't really a question. If you go to my Insta live channel, you will see a couple of recorded videos from the past, from last year, that are talking about men and women and the difference between men and women brains. But I haven't gone much deeper because I need a specific question to be able to answer it. So please remember to ask me specific questions so that I can give you a much more effective answer. I also have someone from the UAE, from Abu Dhabi, asking me, handling professional rejections and failure. All right. I think these are two very different topics in a sense, because it could be that they're related and that the causality of a professional rejection and failure come together, but I would need to know more information. And I know we're working together to get there, but I could tell you this. Failure in general, and there's so much information about failure and managing failure, and it's only feedback and blah, 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 blah. This is all great, but let's get real, okay? Let's have an honest conversation. So it really depends on the type of conversation that we have inside of ourselves when we fail. What matters here is the kind of dialogue that you guys hold inside of yourself when you fail. So if you think about failing in something very trivial, something you don't care about, I don't think you're very hard on yourself. Most of us aren't. But when we fail on something or about something we really care about, we tend to be very judgmental and very tough on each other. Just like Tasneem was saying right now, that she was very, very tough on herself when she didn't achieve her goal. But also her goal was slightly over-expressed in the context that 5 hours a day for 6 months straight is quite a challenge. It can be done, but at a price. So let's try to always make sure that we have a learning mindset when we fail. Will failure affect you emotionally? Yes, definitely. And here's something I want to talk about. It comes to what we call perfection. People who are driven by perfection, the need to excel. And I was one of those people. And I learned this from my father, actually. So my father is someone who is incredible, and he is an orphan. He was born, and when he was very young, very, very young, his mother passed away. And his father was not able to take care of them because they were almost 12 brothers and sisters. So it's a huge family. Many of them died, and eventually they stayed as 9 brothers and sisters. And so each one was sent to a different place, sometimes monasteries, sometimes other places, in order for them to be taken care of, because it was impossible to take care of 9 children without a mother and a father. I mean, it was just such a workload. And so my father grew up having to really excel in performance. And the areas that he excelled in was everything related to education, everything related to knowledge, everything related to learning. And so he became someone who had really high grades. And his GPA was 3.98 in his master's and 3.98 in his PhD in languages he didn't know. And he speaks 11 languages, which is pretty crazy. It's quite a high bar for me. So the idea is that I was someone who was born with a lot of emotions. And if you're someone who's emotional and you're someone who's sensitive, you'll notice sometimes you have a parent who tells you that emotions and sensitivity are a weakness. I can tell you that they definitely aren't, okay? It doesn't mean that if you're emotional and sensitive that that's a weakness. It means that if you're emotional and sensitive, that means you're someone who's highly empathetic. 2, at the same point in time, it gives you the capacity to be driven towards great action, because all action is driven by emotions. Okay, when people have a bullet go through their head or a piece of metal or something, and it affects their emotional center, they lose their motivation for life. This is scientifically documented. You can research it on Google. So that's weird. When we know that we still have the logical brain running and the survival brain, but our emotional and limbic system is damaged and other areas of it, I'm not going to get too technical, we notice that people lose their drive to perform. That's kind of weird. So what does that tell us about emotions? About our capacity to tap into that sensitivity and emotions. And what happened is, all my life, as I was young, my dad told me that my emotional capacity, my sensitivity, and my desire to work with people was a waste of my energy and time, because that's what he knew best. And he was trying to protect me. And so he told me logic, 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 logic. And around 23 or 22 or 23, I shifted completely from my heart to my mind. And in that process, what happened was I spent so much energy. You can just see behind you, I have so many certifications. There's still a lot more on the wall. To be honest, I don't even feel like putting them anymore, because it's become silly. Like, I have a room full of certifications and trophies, whatever. But all these developments, all this pursuit of excellence ended up costing me a lot. And during that entire time, I never felt that I was fully balanced as a person. I was fully whole. So it took me a lot of time for me to tap back into my emotions and recognize that I actually, working from the heart for me as a person, served me way more than when I was working from the mind. Am I saying that we shouldn't work from the mind? No. And I'm not telling you to follow any advice that I give. I'm sharing with you thoughts and processes. What I am saying is that if we recognize that we're more mind people, let's get that balance on the heart level so that we have both really helping us to make more effective and powerful decisions that we pursue. And if we find that we're more heart people, then work on the mind a little bit so that the mind can be there to serve us when we need it, like a knife to cut sharply. Whereas the heart is more about taking that salad and mixing it with your hands so you get that sauce and infusion. And have you noticed when you eat with your hands, sometimes it gives you a much better experience. So the reason why I'm saying this is for two primary perspectives. First of all, when I talk about failure, and if in my mindset I live in the mind, then I'm going to be a perfectionist to an extent. And what's going to happen is I'm going to measure myself based on mathematical metrics. But that's not what a human being is. Human beings aren't like that. We're emotional beings, even if we've spent more time in the logical mind. So in order for us to be complete and whole at a human level, not at a spiritual level, it's very important for us to recognize what kind of a conversation are we having with ourselves after we fail. Is that conversation a conversation of love and support and care? Are you your best friend? Are you your cheerleader or cheerman, or whatever it is? Do you spend the time supporting yourself and saying, good job on trying this, let's see what we can do next time? What kind of a communication, what kind of a conversation do you have with yourself? And so here, honesty is vital. And when you're honest with yourself, you'll notice that you've accomplished so many things from these failures. I challenge you, go back, sit down, invite yourself to something calm and quiet, and remember all the failures in your life. And if you look back at them and you tell me, John, I didn't learn anything from them, I will shave my beard and grow hair on my head by sticking it with glue. Because it's not possible. As you mature and you look back at your life, you'll notice that every experience you failed in turned out to be a very valuable lesson. And if it isn't, that means you just haven't turned it into a lesson yet. So that's one way to deal with failure. The second thing is rejection. The word rejection itself is such a charged word. So if I say I'm professionally rejected, it means that those people have put value on me. But is that what it is? يعني نحن كإنسان, if someone comes to me and says, I'm not going to work with you, and that's a professional rejection, is that the word that you would use to describe that situation? Or is it that you just didn't fit, or they didn't recognize your value, or it wasn't the right place for you, or maybe God, if you allow me to bring that back into the conversation, because I see things now always through God's perspective, didn't mean for this job to be the job that you technically should have been in because it didn't serve your ultimate path, whatever direction you were supposed to take. So I think maybe it makes more sense for us to spend more time sitting with ourselves, taking advantage of this lockdown. Sometimes if you're in a country that has lockdown, or quiet time for you to process and say to yourself, okay, how do I talk to myself? What do I say to myself in the morning when I wake up? Do I spend my time instantly on social media or complaining or worrying about the tasks I need to do today and communicating to myself that they're so exhausting? Or do I actually start off my day by saying, okay, wait, let me just check. Okay, but my heart's working, my lungs are working, my hands are working, my toes are working, feet are working. It seems I have good energy. I breathe oxygen. Thank you, God, for giving me this beautiful day. And what can I do with it? And then I look around and say, what kind of blessings do I have today that have remained with me, that God has given me for another day? Healthy parents, healthy life, healthy well-being, decent opportunities, intelligent brain. So what kind of choices do you make when you wake up and when you go to sleep? Because these are the conversations that set the tone for you on how you deal with yourself moving forward. So a lot of people tell me, and recently I've been approached by several people who have anxiety, and I'm not talking about anxiety from a therapeutic perspective, okay? Because if you have a lot of anxiety and if you're facing depression or you're facing challenges of this sort, I would highly recommend therapy. I would highly recommend you go to a psychoanalyst or a psychotherapist or a psychologist. And if you tell me, well, that doesn't work or it didn't work for me, yes, that person didn't work for you, but it doesn't mean that the process doesn't work. I personally do therapy, and I always will continue to do therapy until I die, because as we grow, we learn, we experience, we need to digest and process. If I have the ability to have someone supporting me, why wouldn't I? Okay? You just got to find the right person. Okay? It's like finding the right partner or the right team member or the person that you best. So try many people until you get someone effective. And partner up with a coach too. And like I said, there are a lot of coaches that are willing to coach for free. They got to log in hours, 500, 700 hours, so they're willing to coach for free and really give you tremendous value. I can connect you with these coaches. You can feel free to reach out to me if you feel a coach would serve you well. Coaches do not do therapy. Coaches support you to go from where you are to where you want to be through a partnership and a creative process of expanding your awareness and choice. So what I'd like to say here as a summary, and you guys have been so incredible and amazing, and thank you for continuing to watch this live session. Really, it's time that we love ourselves. It's time that we appreciate ourselves. It's time that we start to support ourselves, especially in today's difficult days. And that takes some maturity, recognizing that you are a beautiful, incredible, amazing creature as you are. And please stop judging yourself and stop allowing other people to judge you, because no one knows your internal value. How many times have you said, I wish someone would understand me. I feel so lonely. Nobody gets me. Well, that's your fault. It's your responsibility to allow people to get to know you. If you step out of your mask and out of your shell, people are going to meet the real you. And if you're worried about getting hurt, change the way you choose the people that you want in your life. Become better at that, but not at holding yourself back or hiding yourself. So many people today are faced with the world that we're in. And the world that we're in right now is a pretty challenging world, because a lot of people are very zombie-like, for me, give me everything for me. Money, time, brands, fame, pleasure, power, everyone likes. So it's become so individualistic, It's always about me. I'm bored. I need to be satisfied. I need to feel good. I need to feel better. I really enjoy it when I see posts, for example, of people like, if you bore me, stay away, or don't bother me. These types of ideologies that give me a clear idea that that person is actually in a lot of pain. So when someone writes, I'm a princess, this tells me that that person isn't loved, okay, most of the times. Because when someone expresses that they are a princess, but you see that all their posts don't match it, then there's definitely a pain there, and they're in need of loving themselves. They're in need of valuing themselves. They're in need of stopping the process of judging themselves. Who said that posts have to have a perfect filter? Who said that a coach has to show up in a suit all the time with perfect photo shoots? Who said that that's a standard? Since when did being a coach become about what I wear versus the results that I create for my partners and my clients in their life? Since when? Since when did friendship become about who can show that they're having a better time than the other in a competition of showy-offy, instead of actually spending time supporting each other, loving each other, and being next to each other and just laughing together and laughing at each other's silliness? Since when? Since when did becoming professional and having a good quality life mean that we have to have a minimum of a couple of $1 million and at minimum drive a Lamborghini or a Ferrari? Since when? So what I'm trying to understand is, who is it that's deciding these standards for you, and that you're all allowing yourselves, not you necessarily, I don't know, I'm just talking in general, to be manipulated by? Because the reason I know this is when I go on social media, I look at the feed, it's ridiculous. And the new obsession in the world today, in Lebanon, that has moved from brands has become politics. Everyone now knows how to make fun of a politician. But which of these individuals is ready to pay the price of change? So if I said, who wants change in Lebanon? I'm pretty sure everyone's going to raise their hand and say, I do. But if I said to you guys, who's willing to pay the price of change? I'd love to see those hands up. And change doesn't mean that you have to go down in the streets. Change can start with the way you live your life, the way you communicate to your neighbor, how you educate yourself about rights. Change is about knowing the minimum, the law of the country you live in, so you know what your rights are for those who live in Lebanon. Change is about supporting and rewarding the values that you want to see in others, that you want to see in yourself, the kind of world that you want to live in. But every time you like someone's post who's a super filtered post, you're actually creating the world that you don't want, because you're rewarding that kind of behavior in that other person, which is hurting them and hurting yourself. So I have no more time. We're out of time. I really thank you for allowing me to share these thoughts with you. I want you to know two things. I'm never going to assume that I know better than anybody here. This show is not about me being the expert. I'm not an expert, okay? I'm very experienced, yes. And to an extent, I've had so many experiences in my life that I think I have a much more grounded idea of who I am as a person, what I'm about, and I'm okay with my wounds. I'm okay with my misgivings. I'm okay with my imperfection. I'm comfortable. I'm cozy. I'm happy. That's why I'm peaceful. All right? Peace comes with contentment, with appreciation. It doesn't come with perfection. That's why I posted on Instagram a couple of days back, progress over perfection, because I wanted to remind everybody that I broke free from that behavior with the support of my therapist and my coach, from the need and the desire to always be, everything has to be perfectly aligned. Why? Who said? Let me throw one thing out there. Have you ever had an experience where you wanted to plan something, but then you just woke up one day and you just weren't in the mood? And then your friends called you, say, come on, let's just go for a road trip. You jump on the road trip, nothing's planned, you don't know what to do, and then you have the best day of your life. Does that happen? You can learn a lot from that, because life is not meant to be planned. All these speakers, and God bless them, because I know they had the best intention, who have really manipulated our culture globally in achievement, is only meant to make richer people rich people richer, right? Because the more you achieve, the more you're going to spend. The more you're going to spend, you're going to make someone at the top of the pyramid a lot richer. It's an illusion. Come on, grow out of it. That doesn't say, and it doesn't mean that you shouldn't be a millionaire. If you want to be a millionaire, go for it. If that's what you feel is the most important thing for you in life, and that's going to be the epitome of your life, go for it. Mind you, there was a study that showed that 70% of the people in asylums, mental asylums, are millionaires. Because once they get to that finances, they look around them and they find that everyone becomes about money for them. I can tell you, prior to this year, being someone who goes on TV a lot, being someone who coaches a lot and is somewhat decently known, I faced that challenge from the perspective that a lot of people always label me, label right here, coach, expert, consultant. I'm not, I'm John. And if you want to know me and you want to be in my life and I want to be in your life, you got to get to know John. Consulting, mentoring, coaching, training is what I do. It's not what I am. So please don't identify with your careers. Don't identify with what you own. Because one, it can be taken away like this. And it's already happened to me twice in my life. Okay? Two, at the same point in time, man, seriously? Like, what's the difference between a super expensive sofa and a less expensive comfy sofa? Which one do you really prefer? Staying in something cozy and comfy that you don't have to worry about, or constantly wearing "Yi uwa hayu ashi ha sofa." In English, that means I hope nothing spills on the sofa. You see what I'm saying? Look around you and think about the standards and the things you spend a lot of energy focusing on. And just ask yourself, does it really add value to your life? And here's the test. And I said this on Instagram the other day. I said your beliefs that are based on truths are going to lead to the development and increase of hope in your life, which is something I learned. However, your beliefs that are based on fake truths or maltruths or something that seems like the truth but is not the truth are going to cause anxiety, depression, and probably your desire to just give up on life or just feel disconnected from the value of your life, like something's always missing. The same thing has to do with your evaluation of the things that have meaning for you in your life. So if things that are important to you in your life give you anxiety, that means you've given them importance that should not be placed there. So if I'm so worried about how superb my house looks, how amazing my house looks, or what beautiful car I'm driving right now. So the newest Range Rover came out and I need to have it, okay? If having it or the process of having it or driving for a while gives you anxiety because you're always anxious about getting scratched or destroyed or hurt, or you go into a pothole or whatever it is, then that's the wrong choice for you, buddy. Because that means what you've actually done is you've become a slave of that product. There's nothing wrong with having a new car. There's nothing wrong with having expensive items. There's something wrong with when the expensive item rules you and not the other way around, because everything you buy, everything you own is meant to serve the quality of your life, even technology. When technology, like a phone, runs you, that means you're a slave to it. So just think about that and start eliminating the things that hold you as a slave to them. Okay? Love you guys. It's so exciting to see so many people live. I hope next time you're going to be a bit brave. Tasneem was amazing. Last time we had a guest also from the US, and I've been getting so many messages from all over the world. That's why I'm talking English. But really, I'd love for you to join the call and for us to have a great conversation. And for those who are watching, if the call is breaking up a little bit, I apologize. Even though I have a really fast internet, I'm going to be upgrading next year to something much, much faster. So you'll always have great connection. You'll never have a problem with the connection speed. Thank you so much for your responses. Thank you so much for your time. I hope you enjoyed this episode 2 of Honest Conversations. My name is John Kiruz. I'm a neurointegrative coach, mentor, consultant, trainer, and human being, most importantly, and the Son of God. So I'm here to serve you in whatever way I can. We can have conversations about anything you like. This is an open channel, open show, as long as it's respectful and you're responsible for what you say and your intention is the best for you and for others. Welcome. See you next Friday. God bless you. Have a great night. Yalla, bye-bye. I'm ending the broadcast right now on Facebook. I'll leave Instagram last.